Well, we're opening with women!
Women!
Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Jackson isn't a biologist and can't define what woman means.
Democrats never want to win anything ever again. You would think facing apocalyptic midterms that they would be like, hey, maybe dial it back on some of that gender stuff. Most people hate it, but oh no. Instead, their Supreme Court nominee decided to decline to answer what a woman is, the definition of one, and says that the reason she doesn't know that is because she's not a biologist.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? No,
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in
Okay.
this context.
So you
I'm not a
believe the meaning
biologist.
of
And there's a lot I have to say about this. I warned you people. I warned you all. We've been screaming women on this show for 2 years. Women! 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 It's the word. Use it. Telling you that they're trying to erase women and that word. And everybody said, oh, Bridget, this is just a fringe internet thing. It's not real. It's not in the real world. This is just something that only the fringe people on the online and fringe activists say. No, it's not. It was birthing person in my birth class and pregnant people. And now you have a Supreme Court justice who can't define what women is. And you're telling me that this is fringe? No, it's at the highest levels of our institutions. So don't tell me that this is some fringe shit. This is not the time for you to be quiet. This is not the time for you to sit back and say, oh, this is just fringe and it's going to blow over. It's not blowing over. It's getting worse. And I don't really know where shit goes from here, because if you can't define what men and women are, basic biological realities of our entire species, then pretty much anything is up for grabs in terms of what you will believe and what you won't believe, or what you'll be scared to say. Only the Democrats would make a big deal out of electing the first black woman to the Supreme Court, and then while she's up there in her confirmation hearings, cannot define what a woman is in order not to piss off her party.
It's nuts.
It's nuts.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
What's crazy is that we've gone from believe all women during the Kavanaugh hearings, which defined that period, to what is this word you speak of? Women? Never heard of it. The thing that's so funny to me is during Kavanaugh, it was like everyone was dressed up in Handmaid's Tales costumes, but nothing is more handmaidsy than reducing a woman to her biological parts and talking about her in that way. Mm-hmm. It's so creepy. The whole thing drives me crazy. The whole discourse. And they said it was a gotcha moment so that the right could take the clip and play it to their constituents. And that's probably true, but that says a lot about what's going on the left, that this is a gotcha question. Can you define what women is? And the other thing that is so frustrating about it is that I'm not buying that the right gives a shit about women suddenly either.
Yeah.
Like, these guys don't care about women's sports all of a sudden, and they don't care about women's rights. Like, they're like, oh, she can't even define women, ha ha ha, but we'll bounty hunt you if you get an abortion in another state. Like, give me a break.
Right. And they're like, see, feminists, this is what you get. This is what you were asking for.
I know. I got called a transphobe. And then, like, on the right, you hear, like, see, this is the future you wanted. No, it's not. No, it's not. That might be new to the intersectional feminism wave, but first wave feminists did not want female penises in the locker room.
Right. Mm-hmm. I still think my solution of having this is a penis-free zone is the solution. Not men's rooms, not women's rooms. Just there's no penises allowed in here. Yeah. I don't care what you identify as.
Take your female penis and get the out of here.
And that's not to say, like, we've hit the transgender thing pretty hard, and we're not anti-transgender.
No.
It's just the fact that these laws are rife for exploitation.
There's so much that's illogical that it has to be a religion
Mm-hmm.
because it's so nonsensical. Like even the statement trans women are women is inherently a paradox because why do you need to transition if you're already a woman? If it's literally just something that you feel and think about, why do you need to take meds? Why do you need to chop parts of your body off? Like it's inherently a dysfunctional, illogical mentality and ideology. And the only way it makes sense is if it's a religion.
Right. And if you need to transition, okay, that's fine. But there's reasons women need safe spaces. There's reasons women need single sex spaces. And these laws are there to protect them. And if you can't have a judge who doesn't know what a woman is, then how can she?
Well, that's the thing is that when you talk about this stuff, it's always women that are being reduced to their parts. It's always the word that they're tripping over. It's always uterus haver,
Menstruator.
birthing person, menstruator, bleeder was the one last week. And it's never really about the men because single sex spaces were created to protect women. And if you are letting men into those spaces, biological men, you're suddenly not protecting women anymore. And it doesn't really work the other way. You're not seeing tons of trans men rushing to go get into a male prison. You're not seeing trans men rushing to go play against men in sports. Gee, why the is that?
Uh-huh.
Maybe because there's a difference.
Yeah.
That matters, that we can't ignore, and that women suffer under the ignoring of this. It's just, I shouldn't even be having this conversation.
It's ridiculous.
We've been getting throttled week after week, and I know it's because of this stuff.
And we're
gender criminals.
Right. And we get called transphobes for it. And the second you start talking about this someone slaps the label transphobe on you and is like, oh, you're just a transphobe.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I know tons of people who are trans who don't agree with the idea that there's no biological reality.
Right.
They're not on board with the idea that you just get to self-ID into like a prison if you're a man, or that trans women are women, that there's no biological distinction, that there's no difference between a male who's gone through puberty and a female. I shouldn't. It's so bad that we've had to hammer this so hard. And now you know why.
Yeah.
Now you know why. Buy our women hoodie.
I know.
Buy our women hoodie. Support this show as long as you can, because we're like gender criminals. We're gonna get freaking disappeared.
Right. Buy our women hoodie before woman becomes a hate speech.
I mean, even in my birth class, it was painful to watch these nurses talk for hours about the miracle of the female body and how the placenta and the pelvis and reproducing and like all of this stuff that women's bodies are capable of. And they were tripping over themselves not to use that word.
That's just horrifying.
Wow.
There's something horrifying about that.
It's upsetting.
Yeah, deeply. And why can't you, as a woman, be like, I am offended by the terms you're using.
My lived experience doesn't matter. Everyone else's lived experience apparently matters.
Right.
But mine doesn't.
I am offended by the terms you're using to describe me. Birthing person, that just reduces me to the sum of my biological parts. Use the term women.
No, get me my Handmaid's Tale costume, because that's what I'm going to be freaking wearing every day now. And just put birthing person on it.
Bleeder.
It's ridiculous.
Why don't they just call us gashes and get it over with? That's
true.
like just the most horrific word I can get that you can call.
It's true.
Okay, well, and then we have another piece of nonsensicality in this. Army eases fitness test standards for women and older troops.
Oh, God. Pradeep had such a great tweet about this. It was so insightful.
Liberal logic. 1. Biological male now living as a female is physically equivalent to same age biological females. 2, biological women and older women who will be in life and death situations based on this criteria are not physically equivalent to men. Same damn people.
Yeah, it's illogical. That's what I mean. It has to be a religion or a cult. There's no logic to it whatsoever. You're on the one hand are saying like, oh, Leah Thomas is the equivalent of these female swimmers, and on the other hand, they're reducing the physical requirements for females and older females in the Army so that they can pass the tests.
Yeah.
Why would you be doing that? I thought we were all equal strength. Like that's
right.
so-
Oh, you're acknowledging a difference in strength between the sexes? What? That makes sense?
It makes me feel like I'm going crazy. I think this is like a feature, not a bug, too. It's supposed to make you feel insane. I'm going to go into labor.
Okay. You're going to go into labor when talking about the women shit.
Yeah. It's going to be my freaking birth mantra.